it's Joyce here, and you are watching another episode of the Find Your Four show with mindset tips and other fun stuff for the multi-passionate woman entrepreneur. Today, I'd like to share with you something about the golden age and mentorship. The golden age. Don't you just love those words together? They give me a feeling of warmth and opulence and shimmering. The golden age is a time of excellence, high performance, grand achievements, a time so much better than the period that came before and the time that comes after. Good examples are the golden age of the Dutch painters, Rome, Greece, and there are so many more. But what makes a golden age? What makes people excel in those times? Most often than not, this has to do with the handing over of valuable knowledge, information, expertise, experience to the next group of people, to the next generation, by mentors, guides, and teachers. When I was asked to talk on mentorship and proteges and the relationship and the value of the relationship between mentors and proteges, I just had to think about the golden age because it is full of great examples. Take, for instance, Leonardo da Vinci. He was a protege, an apprentice of Verrocchio since he was 15 years old. And the most successful mentors have been proteges themselves. Just look at Da Vinci again. When he was in the peak of his career, he had a whole lot of proteges working under him. They would be working on the easier parts of his work and learning and practicing and growing like that, and opening up time and opportunities for him to work on new ideas and new inventions and the more exciting things. So mentors are there to help grow the proteges, the apprentices, to encourage them to lift their spirits and lift their skills and knowledge and lend an unjudgmental ear. The proteges are looking for guidance and looking for somebody to listen to their ideas and their dreams and their goals, and looking for somebody that helps them achieve those goals. And mentors provide that. So there is a mutual benefit between the mentors and the proteges. They both inspire each other. They both grow because of each other. Now, I was also asked, had I ever been a protege? I am now a teacher, a mentor, a guide. Had I ever been a protege though? And I had to think hard, but then suddenly it hit me, and I'll share with you this. You could call it my golden age of high school. I started off college at a small college, but a few years after I moved to a bigger high school, which had a main building, and because it had grown so fast, they had temporary buildings in the fields 2 streets away, which meant that both teachers and students had to move between those buildings a lot. Now, in Holland, we all had bikes, so it was no problem. I had one teacher, though, a maths teacher. He would take his big Cadillac and drive from his classroom in the main building to the classroom in the fields. And we had a big joke about this because we thought that he would use up half a tank of gas each time he did this. He was a bit of a funny character. One day he asked me, because maths was not really my strongest point, so he asked me, had I any intention of keeping maths the next year? And when I admitted that I was not, he said, I'll have a deal for you. He had heard that I was pretty good at drawing and sketching, so if I could make him a pretty drawing or a sketch, each time he would give a test to the class, he would not mark me any less than a 4. Which meant that if I could keep all my other subjects a 7 and above, I would still pass the year, and nobody needed to know. What do you expect from a blonde girl anyway, right? So being a typical teenager, I thought this was a great idea, and I took this offer, this deal, and made pretty drawings for him. And of course, the next year I dropped the subject altogether. Nobody knew. Now, this is a really good example of a teacher that has no faith, no hope of teaching or growing this student anymore. Basically, it is closing a door because, of course, I did not learn a thing anymore about maths, you know. and basically no help, nothing. It closed the door, it completely dead end. On the other hand, a couple of buildings away was my art teacher, the same year. And perhaps this art teacher actually told him that I was so good at drawing, but that in hindsight. This teacher really loved what I was doing, and he taught me as much as I wanted. He also encouraged me to become a teacher so that I could do what I loved and get paid. Now, he had found an old etch press in the back storage room behind the classroom. And once a week, he would stay late to make etches. So he offered me to come and learn etching from him. And anybody that is interested in art will know how romantic copperplate etching sounds. You know, Rembrandt, the big masters, Rembrandt, Van Gogh, Picasso, they all made beautiful copperplate etches. So I was flattered and I took that offer on. And once a week I made my way to the classroom after school hours and learned etching from him. Now this teacher really sparked and ignited my passion for art. And I grew in skills and in love for the subject so much. And this is in contrast to the other teacher that basically closed the door. This art teacher opened this door wide open. And I know that in these days, perhaps both teachers will probably be in trouble, but I liked to use this example to show you the difference. That if a teacher or a mentor or a guide puts effort and time and enthusiasm and passion into what they do and share their knowledge, then the apprentice, the pupil, the student grows. And on the other hand, if there is nothing, then it's a dead end. Nothing is learned and nothing is gained for both parties. Because I'm sure that my art teacher had a lot of joy from teaching me what he knew about copperplate etching. And my math teacher, basically, what did he get out of that? A pretty drawing. I'm sure that didn't really spark his life much. So I think that we can make a golden age happen for ourselves by being open to learning, being open to grow, but also open to share what we know with others. I think if we have that openness, open-mindedness of sharing and giving and learning, that makes a golden age. Did you enjoy this video? Then hit like, leave a comment, join the conversation and subscribe to the channel. And you can always reach out to book a call with me.